Hello everybody, welcome to the show. Have I got an exciting shootout for you guys today? Check them out. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. We got a new kid on the block. There's our old dog. There's our other new kid on the block. Now, if you guys might remember, I've already done a shootout, more or less. This guy, this one, and this one. Today, we're mainly going to focus on these two. What is the difference? Is it worth it if you already have, say, this reel to get the newer version with all the purple, or to just order the spool? Because you can get the spool for, I think, roughly 15 something is what I gave for it. But I did order this reel with another spool, and it shipped together. I can't remember if it's going to be more shipping if you get just a spool, but I want to say right around $15 get you the lighter spool. And the difference is, if you haven't checked out that video, check out what the differences are on these reels. I'm just going to do a casting shootout, but basically this spool has holes drilled differently, and it's a gram heavier than this spool. This one's like 9.3, this one's 8.3 grams. So that's the main difference on performance wise, other than this one does have the drag clicker, the audible drag, to where when the line's pulled out you can hear it. But today we're going to focus on these, but we're going to give them something to go by. We're also going to give another shot, let the, what is considered, this reel nowadays is considered the best out of the box BFS reel, the Alphas TW Air 2020 model. And we did shout it out against this Aldebaran BFXG, which in my mind is still the best reel to get for BFS if you want the clicking drag. Its performance is right there close, within a few feet if you remember the shootout. But then these cost a lot more. You're talking $300+ to just get your hands on these, even a used one of this, or these are still selling like crazy. A lot of them are, people are paying more money just to get them quicker because they're still out. Well, here comes in where I think most of you, unless you're a diehard BFS guy and you're just going to buy a bunch of different ones, you just want to get one to try, or you're on a budget, here's where you need to get. And I'm going to show you why in this shootout, but we're going to try to see if this guy, the new kid on the block, can get close to this guy. We're going to try him out on this Pagani, well, sort of a Pagani rod. It's got a lure killer tip on it because I broke this sucker a while back, and I don't recommend Pagani rods if you are hard on rods, because you will break the Paganis. Anyway, buckle up, hang on, let's get this shootout going. Okay, I got, whoa, Nelly, whoa. I just about dropped that, except I was holding on to the line, thank goodness. Okay, I got the chesty on, and we're gonna go do a little, that is tied around my finger. We're getting ready to do this shootout, but before we do, I'm gonna go and show you just the capabilities of this combo. If you guys might have seen this combo in the last video I put out, well, I don't know when this video will make it out, but if you saw the videos where I was tearing up some bass on that Zinkers on an 1/8 ounce shaky head with this 802C with the Aldebaran BFXG. But I want to show you the capabilities of this combo, because most people won't consider, this is considered a medium. It's a 1/8 to 3/8 ounce, 10 to 14 pound line, but I'm going to show you what it can do with a 2 gram bait real quick. Then we'll get on to the shootout. But if you remember right, in all the other videos, we come out here and I stand right over here. I still got a little hole where I'm out here casting so much. I can tell I basically straight across from the brick. It's easy to remember my spot. But I was casting out with the Cayenne Teton, and we did a shootout between, well, several others over the last year or so. And basically, if a BFS reel with the roughly 2 grams hits the street, it's a pretty good reel. And you know, a couple foot, 5 foot, if you remember right, the and I'm hoping it'll do it with this rod. We did it on a Cayenne Teton, but the air hit almost the center of the street. Well, I was out here the other day playing around, and I just want to show you what, and I think that's roughly 65, 60 something to the street, and like 68, 70 out in the middle, 70 feet. And that's just going by me kind of walking down there, so it may be more. It's probably more if anything else. But I want to show you what this reel is capable of. Okay, here we go. This is for all the marbles. I'm going to get a little rare. Where did it go? Okay, I'm not going to bother to take you down there, but I had a little bit of a fluff, but it hit about 2 foot into the street. So roughly this rod will throw pretty much where those that BFS Kayings will, because it's got a fairly soft tip. I just want to show you guys that real quick. Now let's get this on the other actual shootout reels that we're shooting out here. All right, here we go with this guy. Now I may need to make some fine-tune adjustments, but roughly anytime you change conditions, you might have to change. Do one more. Try to get this baby to hit close to where it had been. Okay, so yeah, about 2 or 3 feet into the street. It seems like the wind's not going to let it get as much as it was on the other ones. So let's see. I'm going to put the other old reel on and we'll try it out. Okay, here comes our old dog, the Fishband PW100, not the Pro. Now, it shouldn't need set either. I should be able to just cast it, no problems. It may not go as far, but it should. Yeah, shouldn't have any problems casting. Now, it didn't hit the street either, which I didn't figure it would, but it should get close. And I will probably go measure this one, walk it for you guys, and at least show you where it landed. Let's try one more. Okay. Now, I kind of threw down, but I think that's about as far as that's going to get. And I think yeah, we did hit the street. Barely. Oh no, wait, we came out here. Look at this. Now the wind's probably a little more dead than it was, so it's hard to do a shootout video. And I know I got my old nasty workout shoes on, but anyway, we're about roughly we're doing good with that rod and on that one. So I'm gonna call that about a foot into the street before I get ran over, and we're just gonna go ahead and call that good for it. And we're gonna tie on the new we're gonna put on the new reel on this rod, tie on this bait, and try it. Okay, we got this one on. Now this one I do have to set. I just put line on it and stuck it on here. I have not dialed anything in it. Set all the way to 0. Now what I'm going to do, this one here, if you can make out, is set right between 7 and 8. So I'm going to set this one there, but then I'm also going to go through and show you real quick, if I can get myself untangled here from this other line. I don't want to go yanking reels off this. Okay, so let's go through the process, what I do to set up a new reel anyway in the first place. And you guys should all do this. I recommend it. If you don't know how to set the drag, I hook it to like my bumper, my truck, or something solid, and I pull. But check out, I got several videos showing how I set the actual drag, how tight I like to have it. Doesn't really matter for this video, but that's pretty tight. That's probably all the tighter you need for like 10-pound tests anyway, but I got a whole video about that. But I'm going to show you how to set this real quick in this video as far as for casting. Now some people, this is all a personal preference, and if you're a beginner, I would recommend, I'm going to tell you how I do it first, then what I recommend for beginners. For me, I crank this down. I get that bait to really stop. I don't want it to fall at all. Okay, see where it's at? It's not falling. Like if I put a little pressure, it'll start to fall. But then I back it off until it falls. See, that's a little too tight for me. But if you're a beginner, that's about where you want it. You want your bait to fall, and when it hits the ground, you want to let it free fall from about 3 or 4 foot up. And see how it did that? That's almost too loose if you're a beginner. If you're a beginner and you're just starting out with the bait caster, especially like I've never used one of these before, or you're trying to teach somebody, start them out like this. Crank that thing down. You guys see that? Like it's dropping, but man, it's slow. That's about a good starting point for a beginner. If they struggle, tighten it a little bit more. Tighten it just tight enough to where like that. Like you give it a little pressure, it goes, but then it stops. And I recommend, like, it depends. Like say a 1/2 ounce bait, no, that's probably too much. Or if you're using regular bait casting gear, then that may be okay. But BFS gear, somewhere around 2 grams, 1/16 ounce. So a very early beginner, and then you want to back it off within, once you kind of like, okay, I get it now, then you'll want to come off like a click, maybe 2. But how I set mine up, I want it to hit the ground and see how it does that. It's not really backlash. It ran a little bit, but that's pretty free. You're not going to feel any resistance when you're reeling or any of that, and it's basically about as tight as you can get pressure this way without noticing it. And it kind of lets you have all of your reels set about like that. If you use this little small 1/16 ounce crappie jig or 2 gram weight on even your bigger bait casting reels, even your reels you're going to throw a 1/2 ounce baits with, just kind of have them all set roughly this, kind of like an almost zero adjustment, a way to set it yourself on a close to zero adjustment. Now if you want it even more, that's about right. Okay, so enough with that. Since I already had another reel, and if you question any of it, just go to max when you on your first cast. But since I already have pretty much should be the same reel, set it in between 7 and 8. That's where I'm going to start with this one. We're just going to see what it does. I already tell you, I do not like this stock thumb bar. See, on mine I added that cork. To me it's puts you way too low. I like to be like this, which is not a huge deal. I mean, you push the button, but then I end up moving my thumb up. So it's not really ideal for me. But let's give it a cast and see what she does. Okay, no problem. It's set pretty close. I'm going to give it one harder and just see if it does any kind of spooling, you know, or not. Okay, so no, it's actually maybe too tight. So I'm going to come back all the way, and that's what I wanted to see. I'm going to go to 7, which is just about half a, you know, 1 click, half a number. And we're going to loosen it up until it starts to, you know, fluff up like when we dropped it. You know, if you can cast it and you watch that line, you see it start to want to, you know, the spool starting to outrun. When it starts doing that during cast, the spool is wanting to outrun your bait that's pulling the line. So that means you're probably a little too loose. You go, you know, 1 tighter or whatever. We haven't hit that point yet. So here we go. So we're not worried about where it's landing, which, wow, it's landing out there. But we're still worried about just setting it. So I'm going to go 1 more even from that. And so the way it's looking is that gram lighter is going to let us loosen this up more than with the stock spool. And these are, I haven't messed with the bearings, whatever, however they came with whatever oil, that's the way they are. And typically when you do that, they should get a touch freer, and for most cases should cast even better. So I still haven't seen it do any fluffing. So we're all the way, I cranked it back again. We're down now on number 6. So we went from 7.5 to 6. And let's see where we're at now. Okay, I put some into it, but I saw it fluff up. So I'm not, oh wow. You guys aren't gonna believe it. That thing hit like where the, it made it out to the street where the Alphas did. I just looked up when I started reeling. So I think we're there. I'm gonna try another one. As long as it don't backlash, I'm gonna leave it right there. It's hitting way out there. I can tell you guys right now, I'm going to like this reel. It beats the original spool. And I bought that other purple spool. I was debating if I should put it in or not, depending on how this shootout went. Now I'm a little on the loose side, but I'm going to show you guys real quick. That's how quick. That's the first time I've set that thing. Now I think the wind did die off, so I need to, in all fairness, I need to get the other Alphas out and cast it just to see. But this sucker just landed way out here. So if you remember right here, somewhere right in here is where the stock black spool, and I tried, it set pretty good. I could maybe loosen it, click and see, but here's where the new spool went. So that's roughly, it's 5 or 6 feet that we gained on the from old to new. That's pretty impressive. But I guess a gram lighter spool will do that when everything else is pretty much considered the same. So I'm not going to mess with it. I like it right there. But what I will do is I'm just going to sit here and play with it a little bit. Because I think I got it loose enough now, if I threw it into the wind, I would backlash. So in all actuality, you know, you like to see the shootouts and all that. But if I bet you by the time I get out on the water and start fishing, I may go all the way back to end up back somewhere with like I was with those other ones. And I know 6 is where it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to 7.5. Now I can't get it to go to half. So I'm going to go back to 7.5 where I set the other one, and I'm going to just kind of start putting some real like force into it. So hopefully it doesn't backlash, but oh, it hit way out there again. I like zinged it. It landed almost in the same spot. So I turned up the dial back to where I have the other PW100, and it nailed it out in about the same area. I don't know if you guys can hear the force. And same thing again. So I'm going to go back to 7. I bet you once I get out on the water, this somewhere around 7 will be where I find myself leaving it, because I can cast. Yeah, I'm consistently hitting out in the street. So this reel is awesome, guys. It's got the clicker's a little quiet, but and a lot of guys, you know, may not even like the clicker a lot, but that right there, man, will help you out. And you start pulling, and the minute you hear that, that means you got, you know, you're really reeling. You might want to just stop reeling and let the fish, you know, kind of fight him a little bit more. But anyway, I'm telling you guys right now, the wind died off. I don't know if you guys can make it out. So in all fairness, the Alphas, it was windy when I was throwing the Alphas. I'm gonna put it back on and see if I can get it to go further than this. I'm sure it's got to go further than this, unless those bearings are so dried out that it's, you know, once you hear noise like that, it means there's a touch more friction starting. I mean, I know ceramic bearings are supposed to do that, but I don't think the Alphas comes with ceramics. Okay, I'm back, and I did not think that I would be trying to get the Alphas to go as far as the new the PW Pro or whatever, but that's kind of where we're at. And this thing is pretty loose. Now I may need the brakes may be a little tight, so we're gonna give it a shot without any wind. It's definitely still calm. I don't see any wind. I'm gonna zing it, and it hit. Nope. Hang on. I may be letting, I don't know, unless I'm just letting go too soon, because this Alphas does have a weird release. And I backlashed. Okay. Hang on. Calm down. Your $300 reel should outcast your $65 reel. And they both, I believe, it's different brands, but they're both 10-pound braid. Now, this reel that everybody is praising, including me, on Facebook and wherever you go, forums, cannot get as far as my new PW100. It's getting about a foot farther than the old one, only a foot. I don't know, it could be this is a little longer rod, and it's got some, that knot could be causing some issues, I guess. So we're gonna have to stay tuned. What I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna mess with it today in this video. I'm gonna probably put, because I was gonna do it anyway on a couple of these, I'm gonna put new leaders on them before I actually go fishing. And I may do an on the water shootout. But I'll be honest, guys, as of right now, this little shootout I did, and I just wanted to see something here real quick. Now, I know I'm going to just try to, I don't know how much of this you guys will see or not, but I'm going to go ahead, just because it's got me wondering now. This guy just ain't working right. I don't know what's up with him. But my old dog, my old dog right here, even with 15 pound, all these others had 10 pound on. Now it's different. This is actually getting old now, and I guess that may be something, but that's fairly new, and that, I don't know, that is used but fairly new. Came off a different reel. And yes, I do have, dang it, this is 15 pound, but I do have 10 pound Hercules 8-strand blue coming, and 10 pound, I believe it's pink or purple, that I'm gonna put on that reel. It hasn't made it yet, and you guys know AliExpress. When it shows up, I'll put that line on, and then we'll do I guess proper shootout with this guy and see who can hang with him, because this guy, there's no way, even with this 15 pound, that $65 reel should be able to outcast him. So we're getting ready to find out right now. All right, let's go. Where'd you hit? Okay. We got out there, but I'll be honest, it's not real impressive compared to what we got with the $65 one. It's only a little bit better. I mean, you guys saw I walked it out there. I showed you guys where it was landing. Okay, let's go look at where this one landed. And I'll be honest, that's about that's 15 pound. So I might be able to gain another foot with 10, who knows, maybe not, but probably, I'm guessing I would get a foot more. So it just cast, which is about right where we did with the purple one. So I have to say, as good as I like my Aldebaran, and it's going to outlast the PW100, as good as I like the new Alphas, and it's going to definitely outlast the PW, well, it should. I don't know about the gears. Anybody can tell you about Daiwa gears that the aluminum ones, they tend to not last real long. They definitely don't feel as smooth as brass, but I like them just for the lightweight, and I don't mind that gear sound. It almost gives you a hooked up feel. But anyway, I'll be honest. Let's wrap this video up. And what are my thoughts? My thoughts are that I definitely made a good buy when I bought this guy right here, and I need to buy about 4 more, because I'm probably going to go ahead and put Noah and Javier on one of these. I don't know, I may save it up for Christmas. What do I have going on here? For Christmas presents or something. I have the Black Knight that I actually gave that to Noah, but I'm probably going to take it back. I may try to do some experiments with the spool on the Black Knight. But I'm going to put this spool for sure, because it definitely is a performance difference. It helps. You can dial the brakes back a little bit. So I'm going to put the new spool in this reel, and this one I'll probably buy 3 or 4 more. They're only $60, $65. I think that they were as cheap as $59. May even go ahead and try to get I think if I get the I want to say the Abu Garcia Ray Studio, they got that purple one, would look good on there. The Daiwa one or the Abu Garcia, I think I'll have to look and see which one would fit better, and I may get some of those for the purple ones. I'm gonna leave this one alone, other than just putting the purple spool in it, and I'm not gonna add any other purple or nothing. I'm tempted to just deanodize or, you know, polish up the spool. That way I don't have, you know, not all of them are purple, because I'll be honest, I like purple, but I'm not a huge fan. Anyway, hopefully you like this video, guys. I'm telling you right now, I'm impressed. You know, just by when I first, I guess I didn't pay enough attention. What do I have going? Oh my gosh. Anyway, when I first spotted these, I just thought it was a cosmetic upgrade, you know, purpley looking stuff, make it sell. And I started, you know, between guys talking about it on some of the Facebook pages I'm on, and, you know, just started reading. I'm like, oh, this is an upgrade. And then I don't see anything about it telling you that it has that it comes with that. But I can't remember his name, but somebody, I can't remember who it was, first commented and told me that. He goes, oh, it's got the drag clicker in it. And I'm like, huh, no way. For just a little, you know, it's not much more than this one. That's why I can't recommend this one at all anymore to anybody. I mean, you might as well spend a little bit of difference on just in the losing the gram on your spool and that clicker added. I mean, it's like a no-brainer. Don't mess with these anymore. It's almost like they shot themselves in the foot on trying to sell these once word gets out. Like, why would you buy this if, you know, this one is that much better for that little a price? And that is about the only difference. There's a small other little changes, but I noticed this line guide is definitely different. I don't know if that's ceramic and then this is just metal. I couldn't tell you which one would be the best. You know, I don't know if it's a possibility this is a cheaper one to knock down on the cost. I don't know. Or this is, I don't know which way is what. So, all right, guys, get out of here. Thanks for watching. I got to go take a shower because I've been at work. I've been lifting weights, and I decided to make a video. And because I couldn't wait to find out myself, and I'm very glad that I did, that this thing works that good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put new leaders on these. I'm not sure which one's going on which. I know this guy is going right back on this rod. I'm going right back out to try to catch some fish that I've been on this crazy going back to the same place, throwing different worms, trying to like fine tune and hone that bite. But that's working awesome on that. And yes, I can still consider this BFS. You guys, a lot of you guys may not. I consider this power BFS, this 802. That's why I got two of them. I'm probably going to get, I was going to get another aldebaran and put on there, but I'll be honest, I'm probably going to get another one of these, maybe even de-anodize the stuff. Or you can actually get aluminum anodizers. Some places you have to check around, but the RC hobby, a lot of guys do anodization. So it's possible you could de-anodize this purple stuff, send it somewhere, have it anodize whatever color you want. If you know, it's going to be more money than the reel probably costs. But on some of your higher end reels also, keep that in mind. But I was going to get another one of these and put on my other NRX. I got a brand new one. This is a used one I picked up, the other 802. But I'm tempted to go ahead and I'll just get one of these for it. I guess purple wouldn't look that bad. Put blue line on it, blue, I don't know, whatever. Doesn't really matter. And then I'll have, you know, I could use this because I like this for definitely bottom, which it's made for, worm and jig kind of thing. But I also like it for throwing other stuff, you know. Those it works good for those little chatterbaits, pretty much anything that all the way down to about a 1/16 up to say quarter. And you could throw a 1/2 ounce chatterbait. It's a little not really great for that if you got a very heavy trailer on it all. But up to that, this is an awesome rod. All right, guys, I'm done. Get out of here. Go Bass and Bonsai. Get to AliExpress. Get this. And I don't know. I forget how. Either Pro or Upgrade or whatever. But just PW100 Fishband, and it'll bring up. And a lot of times you'll just pops up and it shows either one like this or one like this, and it says Upgrade, $15 and something, which is that's just for the spool. But if you click on that. And I'll try to put the link on there, but that takes you to where you got the option to get this one, the regular one, or the spool or whatever. And I would pick one of these up. And they do go on, so I think they're normally 65 and they go on sale for 59, and I don't know what they are right now by the time this video gets to you guys. But I don't know, this reel was definitely, you know, I've had several guys saying how it's the greatest in the world, which I mean, it's awesome, but I've thought for a while it's got a few shortcomings that I don't like. And the main thing I don't like, now it has it now, but I added that. It doesn't come with that. And it's heavier than the aldebaran. And it's probably right in line. No, I think it's heavier than this guy. But this guy's carbon frame, and this should outlast it by a long time. But these honestly do not feel that bad. And with that clicker already added, now of course I added the clicker on this one. But with the clicker added, and then just I mean, they feel smooth, they feel good. There's nothing wrong other than that as far as feel for me. That's just a, I don't know, it's just the way that feels slick and too low. I don't like that feel. So I will be changing that somewhere or another. I thought about just getting another one of these knobs and trying to cut it to fit, but I don't know. I'm going to do something probably with all of them that I use. The boys, if they don't mind it, won't mess with none of theirs. I'll leave the stock handles on and all that. All right, I keep talking. I'm out. Thanks for watching, guys. Get out of here.